Hey guys, welcome to Seaver Garage. Today we're going to talk about our first real defect that we've had with our 2020 Jeep Gladiator, and that defect is that the back window was leaking. We were told to take a look at that on one of our Gladiator pages on Facebook, and thankfully we did, and we did see that it was leaking. Derek, do you want to get into all that?
The solid glass back window, there was 3 places where it was leaking, basically just the right side, left side, and the middle right above. None of them common to the actual like slider. It was just all where it mounts to the hardtop. Sometimes they can leak at the top, like the creases of the top joints, but this was just all glass. Where the glass was, they didn't bond the glass in correctly from the factory or whatever. Like I said, we checked it because one, we read somewhere that people have been having this problem, and then also if you looked at like in the rear view in the back window, you could see like almost where a stream had run down the inside of the window and dried. But I always just kind of assumed it was like on the outside, and then we looked. There wasn't much like water actually getting back there, just like a couple little dribbles. But then we went through a car wash and we had the seats pulled down. We looked and you could just see multiple different spots that it had leaked. So we took it to the dealership and they said that there was no, I forget what it's called, like a star report or something that says that like they can just go ahead and fix it. It hasn't happened enough. So they took it and did like a leak test, found out that it was leaking. They said in their report that it was leaking 3 spots, and they ordered us a new window. I read on some forums that they say that sometimes the dealerships will try to replace it by just taking the window out and then putting it back in, and that like almost always the window shatters. So I'm kind of glad that our dealership ordered us one, so we didn't have to go through that, because but they just cut it out, put a new one in. It's a Mopar window. It looks just like the factory one did. Everything's fine. It doesn't appear to be leaking. Hopefully this glass was replaced by a glass shop, so I would assume it's not going to leak again, where like the one in the factory, you know, is obviously they're doing something wrong at the factory. I hope it's not like a defective part, but rather just not enough sealant so that it won't happen again. But I don't know, we live in Washington, so it rains like every other day or every day, so it kind of was getting kind of bad and annoying. So yeah, this is our first, I guess, issue in 2 years. We've seen the rear axle seals, people having a problem with those. I'm trying to remember the battery issue with the dual batteries, where one of them goes bad and the car won't start. We haven't had any problem with that. Obviously this. Other than that, everything's been pretty good, but definitely check your back windows and make sure they're not leaking.
Yeah, pretty easy. You could have someone sit in the back if you're going through a car wash, or Derek just even took just a cup of water and had me sit and watch and poured it across the top.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to mimic, because like if you go back there's the gap from the glass to the top, and when it rains, water doesn't normally go in there too much. So I literally just took a glass of water and just kind of threw it straight on the back glass, and it instantly like started bleeding inside on the back inside of the window. You could just see it start to get wet, and then just a little dribble would run down the glass on the inside. So it's pretty obvious once you, but like I said, we don't really stick our heads back there too often. So like if you don't notice, it can go, I don't really know how long it's been going. And then we've got our seat covers here that are waterproof, so like the water would hit the seats and then just run down the back. That's why I don't think we were getting any mold or mildew or anything, because
the dealership checked for that though, for us too, and everything was fine. Yeah. So that's good. But I think the seat covers definitely were a contributing factor too.
Yeah, because it just doesn't absorb the water. So, but that first issue, it's all fixed now though. It doesn't take that long. It's just a window, and then you know there's other things. We haven't had any leaks from our Freedom panels or anything, but we
watch it like a hawk.
Yeah, I watch everything.
Because his old Jeep, you know, they leak, so.
Definitely something you want to get look at yourself or bring up the dealership though before your warranty's up, because I don't know what the glass. I know there's some people that have broken their glass in the back and had to get it replaced. Of course, then they have to pay for it, and I mean, I think it was something like $800 or something by the time they replaced it. So you definitely, it would kind of suck if you had to replace your back glass just for leaking on your own money. That would kind of suck. So I would definitely try to look at it while you're still in warranty. And this is a 2020, manufactured in August of 2020, so I don't know if there's like a certain batch of them that have this problem, or if it's just randomly all of them, or if it's going to be a problem later for people. But definitely watch. But
yep. And we'll let you know if for some reason this new one leaks, but hopefully it won't. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.